Well, hello, chat. What the fuck was that? That was weird. Don't do that again. Anyway, what's going on? Hope everyone's doing well. Welcome to this Wednesday night stream. Yes, my computer's cooperating on a Wednesday. Fucking amazing. That's because Mrs. Chillin' is magic. Hope everyone's doing well. Got a pretty good stream, I think, for you tonight. Talk about Doomsday a little bit, and they're pissing people off again. Talk about Spider-Man a little bit, and of course, the review embargo for Supergirl ended at noon today, and like an old school western at high noon, bullets were flying at Supergirl. So we're going to talk about all of that in just a little bit. But for now, fill your cup and light your smoke, because it's time to get nerdy. All right. How does it sound now, Nate? Because Spotify was, excuse me, hiccuping there for a minute, but it seems to have smoothed out for now, at least. Or is it my mic? The rest of the music, that's because Spotify was hiccuping. Fucking ass wipes. Fucking ass wipes. Anyway, why the fuck didn't I turn my camera on? Hello. I swear I've done this shit before. I swear. I promise. So what's crack-a-lackin', folks? Got Nate and Brooke in the chat so far. It's a little bit of a slow beginning tonight, but that's all right. It's because a fair chunk of the basement crew is over in Justin's stream right now, which is totally fine. I have zero problems with that. Justin is my guy. I love the dude, so we'll just give everyone a few minutes to get on in here, and then we can start talking about stuff. And actually, I have kind of some exciting news to share, but again, I'm gonna wait for some more basement crew to roll on in this motherfucker. What's happening with everyone? You know, Justin? Justified? MF? C-Dub. Is Jay done? You should get to know Justin, Nate. He's a dope dude. Come on, YouTube. I know I have at least 4 people in here now. Got 3 in the chat, and of course my alt account watching. Chilling with the Nana. How are your grandparents, by the way? You doing all right? And also, how's that car project coming along? See more comedy. It's down the more without putting completely out. Nope. Ooh, how do I do it this way? Ooh, that's better. All right, I'm gonna do a quick experiment with the music. I adjusted the volume on the front end, and now I'm gonna play with it on the back end. Pause. Anyway. Oh, that works. And I can turn it down. Cool. Doing good? Car is on pause. Got to get the airplanes done and sold. What's this about airplanes? This is the first time I'm hearing about airplanes. As White Vision said in WandaVision, I request elaboration. I don't think he blinked that much, though. Watch season 4 of Vox. No, I got way behind on Vox Machina. I was like on it, and we're watching it. And then my ADD kicked in, and I decided to watch other shit, and I haven't gotten back to it. But it is pretty good. Good to know. I need to get back into that shit. I have like so many shows on so many different streaming platforms just like part way through. It's fucking ridiculous. Yeah, well, idio what idio. That's cool though. I've enjoyed Vox Machina as far as I've watched it. I need to get back into that shit though. Especially since it's created by Critical Role and I'm actually watching one of their older campaigns on the YouTubes right now as background. What's the name of the gaming system? Candela Obscura. He has a 210 and a 195 plus two other warbirds he has partnered with some guys on. Oh, that's cool. If only I knew what the fuck you were talking about other than you just named airplane models. I am blithely ignorant when it comes to aircraft, dude. It's not even cool. What the fuck, YouTube? I know there's more than one person watching. You want to hear something wild, though? I'm seriously thinking Streamlabs was just too big for this computer. Because since I've been on StreamYard, it hasn't crashed anywhere near as much. And I haven't been getting the frames per second warning that you need more, that my shit's too slow. But I haven't had that happen since I switched to StreamYard. So I'm thinking Stream. Now, mind you, Streamlabs is not the only problem with this computer. Like, all its hardware is like old and outdated. But on the other hand, because of its age, Streamlabs was able to be a problem, I think. That's all you know. You flew them, but you don't know shit either. You can fly a plane? Seriously? You can pilot an aircraft? That's fucking dope. Did you watch episodes for season 3 of My Adventures with Superman? I've watched none of that. It's easier than you think. Well, it might be for some people, but I've played on some flight simulators that I've heard are reasonably accurate, and I crash. I have a depth perception problem. Mrs. Chillen could write you a whole dissertation on my depth perception problem. And that's bagging on me, not her. Yep. Fuck, there we go. That's mo better. That's mo better. Hopefully we get a couple more people up in here. Bet you could go do it in your area. Look up Discovery Flight. Awesome. Monday, only for your first flight. Then it gets stupidly expensive. Well, they probably charge you more when you're capable of doing more, just in case you fuck up when you're doing more. Just a guess. Probably, especially if they let you fly solo with literally no one, no co-pilot from the company. They're charging you to pay their insurance rates. That's speculation. But it feels right. I put my sleeves right up higher than they're supposed to. If I want to put on a gun show, I'll put on fucking cutoff. Yeah. Discovery. I'm sure there's some kind of flight something in my area. I mean, I live by Detroit. There's got to be something. Not in, but by. Oh, I'm sure I will. I'm sure I will. I might need a co-pilot for longer than most. Which company is the AI co-pilot associated with? Is that Google? Is that Google co-pilot? Is that Google? I can't remember. I feel like it's Google, but I'm probably. All right. Well, I'm glad the grandparents are doing well. Been a nosedive, and all I can say is roller coasters are a fucking joke after that. Oh, I believe it. And I love me some fucking roller coasters. Love roller coasters. But I totally believe a nosedive in a plane is exponentially more intense than the drop on a roller coaster. I firmly believe that. Oh, roller coasters are definitely fun. There is no arguing that. But yeah, like literal flight. Gotta be more intense. Just has to be. That would be dope. Hell, even if I wasn't handling the stick, pause. I'd love to just be in the cockpit of a plane. You know, that view. Only view I've ever gotten is, commercial airliner. That's it. Why don't I go watch the movie and not listen to what other people think? I'm actually going to go watch the movie this Saturday at 10. I'm just reporting on what other people think. I'm not giving my own thoughts because I can't, because I haven't seen it. But I can damn sure talk about other people's thoughts. It's extremely peaceful to fly a small plane. I can see that. But thanks for popping in, 86 Roy Squad. Make sure you hit the like, even if you don't hang out. But you should hang out. Because that way you can learn the difference between talking about other people's opinions and offering your own. I'm doing the former, not the latter. Just to clear that up for you. I will be doing the former later in the stream. Yeah. Now, since I am going to see it Saturday morning, I will be talking about my own personal opinion Saturday night at 10 p.m. Eastern. If you're curious about my own personal opinion, which I have yet to form because I haven't seen the fucking movie yet. Leaks, theories, and reviews. Yeah, pretty much. That pretty much constitutes it. And of course, to bag on stupid looking drink cups that look like a circumcised strong along a dong. I really extended that too far, probably. But oh well. Need a couple more crew in here. I want to share the news I have. But I need more motherfucking crew in here first. Sorry, if Jay ain't done, I'm gonna be patient. Now, let me pop over here. And maybe talk about a couple of tidbits while we're waiting. Here we go. Y'all like Invincible? Got the Disney Hulu HBO bundle, and I'm watching House of the Dragon season 2. It's yeah, I have that same bundle. Now with ads though, because I'm a cheapie. Here's what I liked season 2, but here's the deal with season 2. Season 2 is 8 individual episodes of good to great television that, when you put it together as a whole, didn't amount to a whole lot of much. I mean, I agree, fuck ads, but also Spicy Dan, you didn't miss much. We just bullshitting, dog. I had one, can't guarantee this, but I suspect I've had one gun blazer in here that was triggered by my thumbnail. And I had to explain the difference between reporting other people's opinions and giving forth mine own, which I can't do because I haven't seen the movie yet. But I am Saturday morning in a matinee in a standard screen. But yeah, other than that, you ain't missed shit. I was about to, while I'm waiting for more crew to get in here, drop one little tidbit about Invincible. Also got a new mini LED TV coming. How many? Like, how many are we talking? Like 12 inch? 16? You've got me curious on that. Anyway, Invincible. Season 6 has already been greenlit, chat. So if you've been enjoying Invincible, we just finished season 4. Supposed to get season 5 next year. And they've already greenlit season 6. And if Kirkman is to be believed, we will get season 6 in 2028. So that'll be cool. What do you guys think? Are you glad to know we are for sure getting, hiccup, a season 6 of Invincible? Didn't Kirkman say he wanted to do like 8 or 9? I think that's what he said. So yeah, that motherfucker's planning to take us into 2030, 2031. No, sorry. Season 6, 2028. 2031, 2032. No, 3031. Yeah, I was right the first time. God damn it. Do you know what will happen in season 5? Well, from some of the people I follow on the Twitx who have read the comics, evidently insanity is going to happen in season 5. Yeah, I've seen people saying if Kirkman adapts what he put in the comics over to the animated show, season 5 is going to be nizuts. And I'm here for it. I am here for it. Oh, shit. Did you guys hear about this? Positive DC news. Check this shit out, yo. See, I don't bag on DC all the time. Just when Gunn does stupid shit. This, however, is a fucking good idea. Because, chat, as we all know, while the live-action DC universes have been hit or miss, to put it politely, animated DC has been pretty consistently really good to fucking peak. Well, check this shizzle out. Warner Brothers debuts the Batman Nightfall trailer, which, of course, for a couple, 3 reasons we cannot watch together. Reason 1 being Warner Brothers is a bunch of dicks. Reason 2 is I'm using StreamYard and I don't know how to filter sound through when I'm sharing a screen. So there's that. So yeah, Warner Brothers dicks. Yeah, I haven't actually watched the trailer. However, so there's a Batman Nightfall trailer, and they have retooled it into an R-rated animated trilogy. My God. That sounds fucking amazing. And it is precisely what they should do with the Absolute line. Because you're not going to be able to adapt the Absolute line into live action without them all being R-rated. And while the occasional R-rated movie in your comic book-based cinematic universe is okay, you can't be putting out R-rated movie after R-rated movie after R-rated movie after R-rated movie because you are massively cutting down on your audience size. It'd be stupid as fuck. Yeah, that's on HBO Max last I knew, bro. Brutal. Yeah, I know, bro. Yeah, the overlooking of the DC animated universe outside of us is ridiculous. Like, you know what? Some of that might be on us though, Jack, because I firmly believe that the general audience doesn't get excited about nerdy shit unless they see us excited. So, if the DC animated universe is not widely known for its awesomeness, that is a little bit at least on us because we are not singing its praises. It would make billions. What, a bunch of R-rated absolute ones? Over time, yes. That I don't disagree with that. But and you know which director would be perfect? Snyder. Actually, as horror based as the absolute series kind of seems to be, at least some parts of it, you know, just I mean, look at the way fucking Joker looks and Killer Croc, and honestly, I would want like a Zach Kreger or you know someone of that ilk to direct an absolute DC live action movie because those shits are just so over the fucking top and frankly creepy as fuck. Uh, yeah, I'd kind of want a horror director to do that shit. You know, maybe a really good second unit director to handle like the comic booky shit. You know, like the straight comic book action and all that crap. But for like you know the rest of it, yeah, give me a Zach Kreger or somebody similar for that. But yeah, so just like they, in which I still need to watch, just like they did, what is it? Crisis on Infinite Earths in 3 parts, a trilogy. Now we're getting Nightfall in a trilogy. That's gonna be dope. I wonder, does they say when? Did it, they say when it's coming out? Give me a minute here. Batman Nightfall Part One. Surface 2020. What? Where the fuck did I miss that shit? Evidently, this shit's been talked about since late 2025. What the fuck? Trilogy Part 1, blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Do we have a debut? Do we have a premiere date? Nope. Well. Okay, so we don't have a premiere date, just that it's fucking happening. Still, gotta keep our eyeballs out for that motherfucker. And I do need to watch the Infinite Crisis on Infinite Earths trilogy as well. Because I'm a slacker. All right, how are we doing on anime of Absolute DC? Yeah, it would probably work quite well. I'm inclined to agree with that. All right. You know what? Fuck it. I'm tired of waiting to make this announcement that I at least pinged you on Discord. My favorite DC animated Batman. Batman sounds like a wrestler, a bad wrestler name. Yeah, I knew what you meant though, dog. All right, so y'all know I've been computer shopping. Mini LED means the LEDs are small, not the TV. Oh, okay. So that picture is going to be job. Gotcha. Okay, cool. That's pretty sick. So what size is the screen? Anyway, where was I? Yes. So as you all know, I've been computer shopping because while this thing has done well to okay for me for a couple of years now, as those of you who are in my Discord saw when I posted the specs, it's kind of between OLED and QLED 40. Oh, nice. 43 inch for your room. Oh, well, that makes sense. Yeah. So it has served me basically well for a couple of years. You know, it's put in its time. It was refurbished. Okay, so that's number one, and number two, the hardware is a bit outdated, as you guys again saw in the Discord. So, now I told y'all last Saturday that I had found a machine. I'm taking Spicy Dan's recommendation on the whatever the fuck that thing's called, and so that's the one I'm getting. Again, you can see it in the Discord. And I told you that I'd be able to order it day after tomorrow on Friday. So I come home from work today, and Mrs. Chillin, number one, found it for a cheaper price. She's amazing that way. And number two, did some finagling. It's ordered. And it should be here Saturday. Yes, that. Thank you, Brutal. Yes, Mrs. Chillin found a way to be able to order it today. So I will, instead of it being ordered Monday and me not having it till next week, provided it gets here at a decent time on Saturday, I'm gonna have to rip this whole motherfucking shit apart. And while I'm at it, I may change a couple things around in the setup too. Hell, I may have to, depending on if that tower is beefy as it looks. And everyone should thank Daniel Ha by ordering hot sauce. Dan, you know what? You are exactly right, Brutal. You're exactly right. Anywho, so if it gets there soon enough, or here, I'm going to be ripping this setup apart, putting it back together. Probably going to do a test stream, just to make sure everything is kosher. Are we gambling? As far as I know, we can. No one has yet. Let me see. Oh, there you go, Spicy Dan. Hell yeah. Okay, yeah, it works. Ooh, I won a little. Damn, Daniel got it. Hey, Brutal, you want a few more bucks, man? You're below 100K. I'll give you a chance. Derpy 501, 501st 2. Ooh, 501st. I respect it. You've seen it. I assume you're referring to Supergirl. And what'd you think? And also, did you hit like on the way in and welcome? And if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe as well. Basement Bucks. Called mine Bones. And Daniel's Filthy Rich. Yeah, Daniel is insane. Let's see. He's cracked 1 million? What the? Oh, that's right. Because he went on that fucking run that one stream. It was just like 80 something, 90 something, 80 something, 90 something. Every fucking time he rolled, he was getting 3 or 5 times the point. It was crazy, that stream. I'm just like watching him gamble. Pow, 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 pow. The fuck? Anywho, so point being, new computer is on the way. And if everything goes the way I fucking want it to, there will be a test stream to make sure shit's kosher. And then Saturday night will be the first full stream on the new machine. And then, yeah, it'll be dope. It'll be dope. Okay, Derpy says about Supergirl. Honestly, it's getting way too much hate than it should, but honestly, I feel like it was passable for a movie. Okay, well, getting way too much hate. Fair. Passable. not the most glowing review. I mean, you're not shitting on it. Don't get me wrong. I am not accusing you of shitting on it by any stretch of the imagination. That's also not you have to admit, that's also not a glowing review. So it's the Marvels? Maybe. That listing is still the best you can find online. Actually, Amazon is selling the exact same machine. I triple checked. The specs are identical for like $60 cheaper than Newegg. Of course, that's partially due to Prime Days. It was only $30 cheaper. But still. Yeah, I made sure the specs were identical. Same machine, same specs that you recommended. I mean, Bezos can suck all of my dick for not forcing the people in charge of TV and movies to keep Stargate around, but bitches. Be pretty well off now. Yeah, that's another thing. I'm gonna run Marvels on it on my own, just to see the difference between this machine and that one, because Marvels on this my current machine is so choppy. It literally makes me nauseous. After one community gaming night, I did actually literally fucking puke. It was that bad. But yeah, so I'm gonna check it out on my own first, and then if it's rocking the way I want it to, then I'll probably throw in a community gaming stream or two here and there. It'll be interesting to see if I can shoot any better. I'm assuming that's not a good amount. My new GPU is okay. Yep. Wow, 4 times the VRAM. That'll probably help. Yeah. I would imagine that'll help. Yes, brutal. That's what I've had this whole time. Fucking all cap. He had 2 Gs this whole time. Yes, it's true. I have no idea what the fuck you guys are talking about, which is why I'm glad you guys are in my community. You enjoy me yapping about nerdy shit. I enjoy your guys' vast knowledge that I don't fucking have. Kind of an even grade. $1.137 million. You fuck. I should take some of that shit away. Nah, you earned it. I'm not gonna fuck with it. You earned it, bruh. Praise be the STG. It would seem so. It would seem so. Here's an interesting one. We can talk about when you guys are ready. And I actually have seen some mixed reactions to this little tidbit online. Which, if you think of which once you hear it, shouldn't really be surprising. So you guys remember at CinemaCon when a bunch of people got to see the Doomsday trailer twice because they chanted so loud for it to be replayed, they actually did. You'll recall that Marvel also introduced what they call Infinity Vision, which is basically them running around to theaters looking at their what do you call it? Premium screens. What is it? PFS, premium format screen, something like that. Anyway, so they're just running around looking at premium screens and going, okay, Infinity Vision, Infinity Vision, Infinity Vision. Which, is basically your Screen X's, your Dolby Atmos, and all that fun shit, right? Just pretty much everything but a standard ass screen. which is what I'm going to see Supergirl on. So yeah, then again, basically a marketing ploy. The theaters are not getting any new screens or new equipment like you would need for an IMAX or a Screen X or, any special projectors or none of that shit. Nothing new is coming to the theater except Marvel going, good enough for Infinity Vision. That's it. Now, hold on. Excuse me. Now that we've covered what Infinity Vision is, this comes from Deadline. Now, according to Deadline, I actually think I read the actual article. So, Avengers Endgame Encore, by the way, that is the official title of the version of Endgame they are re-releasing this September. It's September, right? Yeah. Anyway, so that's what it's called officially. It will be called Avengers Endgame Encore. So, it will include a custom intro, new footage, and a special end tag. But here's the kicker. Exclusive to Infinity Vision and IMAX. Let me repeat that. It will include a custom intro, new footage, and a special end tag. Exclusive to Infinity Vision and IMAX. Chat. That means people that cannot get into a premium format theater and will be watching Avengers Endgame Encore on a regular ass, standard ass screen, they're not getting that shit. Welcome, Heisenberg Official. Thanks for joining. Thanks for popping into the stream. Appreciate you. Do me a favor, hit the like. And if you're super new, hit the subscribe and the bell. And you say, I'll judge it after watching it myself, as will I, which I'm doing Saturday morning. Critics are way too inconsistent for me to fully trust their rating. Oh, I agree, and that'll be part of the discussion later. I'm going to be very fair to this movie, but I also am going to report what is being said. It will be on Disney Plus before Doomsday. Oh, I'm sure. It comes out. All right. Pretty sure it's September. Let me double check here. I had a weird glare. September 25th is when Avengers Endgame Encore comes out. And did I say Endgame Encore? Weird. Okay, Endgame Encore. Okay, so September 25th. I would imagine, even if they do the standard, 6 weeks, that's still going to be out of theaters by Thanksgiving. Oh, shit. You're right, Brutal. I forgot to set that up. God damn it. But yeah, so it'll probably be out of theaters by Thanksgiving anyway, which would probably be good because that'll give people basically a month to check it out on Disney Plus if they missed it on the theater before Doomsday. And hopefully, even though they're doing this exclusive extras to the premium screens, hopefully they'll have them on the Disney Plus. So even if people can only watch on a standard screen and kind of miss out, hopefully they can catch it on Disney Plus after. That would be extremely dumb not to include the special shit on Disney Plus, right? Yeah, that'd be fucking stupid. Question though, how do you guys feel about only being able to see the extra shit on a premium screen? You think that's a good idea? Think it's a bad idea? What do you guys think? Well, actually, and I can't fix it until I get my new computer and can actually run Streamlabs on it. So it's gonna unfortunately have to wait. Remind me Saturday night, or actually remind me at the test stream on Saturday. Because I am going to run the test stream on Streamlabs just to see what happens. Fucking random eye itches are annoying as hell. And no, it's not pink eye, and I was not fingering my butt. I think limiting who sees the new version is a bad idea. You want everyone to understand the setup it implies. Fair. Totally fair. That is a good point. Now, here's what I think. Do I think it's probably not the greatest idea? Yes. However, to me, this feels just like when they were releasing those 4 little, whatever you want to call them, teasers, character moments, back December, January, when we thought we were going to start getting a ton of Doomsday shit. We just got those. I'm sure you remember those. But do you also remember how they only had those attached to Avatar? So the only way to see them was to go see Avatar? That didn't seem to do too much damage. And they also released them, the following Monday or Tuesday, officially, even though we who keep track of leaks and shit like that saw the Tuesday before the Friday they were supposed to premiere. Smacky96, welcome. Thanks for popping in. I appreciate you. Do me some favors. Hit the like. And if you are brand new, also hit the subscribe and the bell. So Supergirl today, give it a 7.5. That's not bad. I mean, it's average, but it's definitely not bad. Where was I? Yeah. So to me, it doesn't seem too much different. Jesus Christ. English, bro. It's only your native language. It doesn't seem too different from those clips, character moments, teasers, whatever, being exclusive to Avatar. As long as they do the same thing they did with those clips and put all the special shit on Disney Plus. Like they released the trailers officially after the full weekend rotation in front of Avatar. They dropped them, I think, on the Tuesday after. As long as they put all the fancy shit, let me rephrase. As long as they keep all the extra shit when they drop it onto Disney Plus, it'll be fine. I mean, the people that can only get into a standard screen will probably be a bit annoyed, but again, 4 or 6 weeks after it premieres, it'll be on Disney Plus, and if they're not a bunch of complete fucking idiots, then the extra shit will be on the Disney Plus version, and people will be like, "Oh, okay, cool." That's what I think. And that is an excellent question, Brutal. I'm gonna speculate before Smacky answers, and I'm gonna say a reasonable chunk, considering he gets poisoned by Krem, or at least he'll be talked about a lot. Even if he's not on screen a ton, he's gonna be talked about a lot because he's gonna be a sick puppy. Yeah, I imagine they'll drop the full encore edition on Disney Plus. I mean, Marvel made quite a few mistakes in Phases 4 and 5, but they never did anything that boneheaded as the decision to not put the special shit on Disney Plus would be. That would be KK levels of dumb. Like, real talk. That would be KK levels of stupid, and Feige's way smarter than that. Well, I was just speculating. Smacky hasn't actually answered yet. I was just speculating. I'll be able to tell you for sure Saturday night, though. Yes, I will. I'm gonna be honest though, chat. There isn't a whole hell of a lot to talk about outside of Supergirl, but I found some tidbits. Oh, Now, you want to talk about the opposite kind of box office from Supergirl? Check this shizzle out. Spider-Man, Brand New Day, is going to crush everything. Honestly, Chad, I am starting to get the feeling that Spider-Man Brand New Day will actually make more than Doomsday. I'm really starting to believe that. I'm not guaranteeing it, but I'm kind of starting to believe it. And this is partially why. According to global box office, Spider-Man Brand New Day has already, and this was 3 days ago. Mind you, the numbers have only grown. So as of 3 days ago, Spider-Man Brand New Day had already surpassed 40 million in domestic pre-sales revenue. It is now on track for a domestic opening above $250 million. Hollywood's biggest debut since No Way Home, which was $309 million adjusted, I'm assuming, for 4 years of inflation, or 3 years. But still, chat. A lot of movies would be wanking themselves to open to 250 million globally. Global box office is talking about 250 million just here, just North American domestic. No overseas in that number. Now remember, No Way Home made like 1.9 billion without China. China's on this bitch. Brand New Day is going to be in China. This fucking movie, chat. This fucking movie. Between this and Doomsday, this movie has the better chance to crack 2 billion. I mean, these pre-sales are crazy. The opening predicted is crazy. Prediction is crazy. Having China back in the mix with, all their billions of whatever fucking their money's called. I can't remember. Does anyone know what the currency from China is called? Yen is Japan. What the fuck is China's? Anyway. So yeah. Spider-Man is about to annihilate everything. And what's even more, who was I listening to? I think Roka. I don't remember which of his shows. But he was going over like the movies that come out after it. There's literally nothing of major consequence that comes out after it. That movie could literally spend 8 weeks in the theater and leg out the entire way. Talking about Robert Meyer Burnett. Did I see the end? You won? Okay, thank you, bro. But yeah, so there's like not a lot of competition coming in after it. This movie could easily fucking roll right through September. What up, executive judge? Like, real talk, this movie could roll all the way through September. And I would not be surprised. Oh, renminbi. Okay. Translates to people's money. Of course it does. Even the IMAX screen is going to be gone quicker than usual. You talking about Spider-Man? Because Spider-Man doesn't have any IMAX. The Odyssey has all the IMAX. However, there's been a couple cases here where IMAX is like Supergirl. Does Supergirl have IMAX? Oh yeah, I think it does. Or they might remove them to make more room for the new Toy Story. Yeah, see, that's what I was about to talk about. I had forgotten about the Toy Story thing, but IMAX, the company, has let's see. They did it to He-Man. Or no. What was the bomb before He-Man? Oh, Mando and Grogu. IMAX yanked their screens from Mando and Grogu and gave them to He-Man, which didn't make a difference because that motherfucker bombed too. But yeah, the IMAX will, if they're like, fuck this noise, they'll yank them. Yeah, yeah. No, exactly. Because Toy Story 5 is crushing as well. That's one of the things. Just real quick, I'll address before we really get into the Supergirl shit. And to be fair to Supergirl, Supergirl is sandwiched between Toy Story 5 and Minions and Monsters, I think. Heard He-Man is good, just not next level. I mean, yeah, that's probably a fair assessment. I haven't seen it, but I've seen any number of people have a similar take. Um, and let's face it, it's an Amazon MGM production. It'll crush it on Prime Video probably, and they'll get their money that way. So like if a theater movie from Prime MG or Amazon MGM bombs, they're one of the few studios that just doesn't give a fuck because Amazon money and they'll get their ad money off Prime, so they'll be fine. I mean, they could put out a fucking Masters of the Universe sequel in 28 or 29, and that might bomb too, and they won't give a fuck because they'll just put it right back on Prime and get their ad revenue and be like, "Dude, yeah, 250 million domestic for Spider-Man, bro." And again, a lot of movies would kill for that worldwide on their opening weekend. I think that's literally double what Superman's opening weekend was. Yep, 125. I was right. So yeah, that's right now and that was worldwide, by the way. I'm pretty sure. God damn it. Let me double check. That might have been just domestic. Damn it. Okay, and I'm specifically searching for global. Okay, no, it was 125 here and 220 globally. So it's 125 here, and what did that mean? 95 overseas. Yeah, 75, another 20. Yeah, so 125 domestic, 95 overseas, 220 in his first weekend global. And Spider-Man is tracking for a domestic opening 30 million hires than 30 million hires. Jesus Christ Almighty, $30 million higher than Superman's global opening. Let that sink in, chat. Theaters almost completely sold out for the weekend. I believe it. I totally believe it. Them tickets sold fast. Yep. Yep. And I'm sure theaters will be keeping track of how many, how many of their existing showings are sold out. And I guarantee they'll fucking switch lower performing movies over to Spider-Man screens like that just to get more just for the walk-up business. You know what I mean? They'll be like, "Oh, there's like 10 people in this movie, and we've made like $1,000 on it in the last 2 weeks. Spider-Man movie, Spider-Man theater, and you Spider-Man theater. Guaranteed, brand new day has already made 80 mil, if not 100 plus. I wonder if they do have an up-to-date number. Current pre-sale. All right, let's see if anyone has a solid number. They don't have anything more updated yet. Now, No Way Home 3 years ago, did 78 million in pre-sales and opened to 260 million domestically. Right now, so far the only number we have is 40, which obviously is 38 million less, but we're not done with pre-sales yet. Made 40 in the first 24 hours, yeah. Yeah, no one has updated the pre-sale numbers since that I can find. Yeah, best first day, blah, blah, blah. 6 days ago, 17th. 6 days ago, 15 hours ago. Oh. One moment, please. Blah, 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 blah. Tell me numbers, bitch. Stop tickling my balls. Start sucking. You're not gonna give me an actual number though, are you? Fine. Nope. I know that there's no actual number out there that I can find. All we have to work off is the 40 million so far. I'm sure eventually we'll get the number. You've watched the showing fill up. That's why I say 80 to 100. Oh, I totally believe it's probably somewhere in that range by now. I mean, the tickets have been on sale for, a week now, right? Last Wednesday they went on sale, so. So yeah, I imagine it's a fair chunk higher than 40. But regardless, Spider-Man's about to just crush every fucking thing around it. And I'm going to love every minute of it. Oh, yeah. Okay, guys. So here's another fun thing. You guys, well, first of all, you guys got any further thoughts on the Spider-Man pre-sales and box office predictions before we move on? Best movies I want to see in theaters besides Brand New Day and Supergirl are Minions and the new Bleach film. That's cool. I'm not going to go to see Minions in the theater. I am wanting to see Odyssey in the theater. Yeah, I'm definitely saving He-Man till streaming. Matthew, what's up, brother? I want to see Odyssey in the theater. I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull it off, but I want to. What else do I want to see in the theater? I swear there's something else as well. I can't think of it right now. Shocker, ADD moment. Anyway. We're there. Do your thing. Chop, chop. Okay, cool. The Odyssey has a literal daddy issue. I mean, that's fair. New Evil Dead movie? Yeah. I don't know. I mean, I definitely am going to watch it at some point. I don't know if I'll go to the theater for it, but I love me some Evil Dead. I like the old ones. I like the new ones. I mean, Bruce Campbell's fucking peak, though. Ash. Ash is the motherfucking man. Evil Dead Rise. Is it Rise the next one, or is Burn the next one? I think, yeah, Rise is next, and then Burn after that. Okay, well, I don't know, because there is a new trailer for Evil Dead Burn that just dropped today. Is Rise the one that's already out? I've lost track. Burn is new, Rise is the last one. Okay. I'm pretty sure I watched Rise. And I liked it. Yeah, I've watched Rise. Yeah, because I watched the original and I watched Rise, which actually happens in the city. Okay. But yeah, it's unlikely that I'll be going to see Burn in the theater. Watched Disclosure Day. It was interesting, I guess. Again, not a glowing review. 41. Man. Motherfucker. Well, bite me, Streamlab. All right. You guys ready for some good fucking Marvel news, bro? Spider-Man isn't the only thing going on in Marvel. I mean, it's dominating everything outside of Doomsday when shit for that comes up. But there's more going on in Marvel than just Spider-Man and Doomsday. Check this shit out, chat. Excuse me. This is coming from Murphy's Multiverse, Charles Murphy. Good dude, fellow Michigander. And someone who was in the Leak and Scoop game back in the day, but has since gotten out 98% of the time. But occasionally, he'll drop a little tidbit here and there. He still has connections. Now, this does not come from his connections per se. This is out there. But, he writes articles about nerdy shit that we care about, so we are, of course, going to reference him from time to time. So, Daredevil Born Again Season 3 set photos reveal a major Defenders verse characters return to Hell's Kitchen. Ooh. Ooh. Not even Daredevil and Defender star Elodie Young was sure what ultimate fate befell Elektra Natchios following her appearances in Netflix's Defenders verse series. Now it seems she and everyone else is about to find out. With Kingpin in exile and Matt Murdock behind bars, the return of Elektra in Marvel Studios' Daredevil Born Again seemed inevitable, and now set photos have confirmed that the former leader of the Hand will indeed factor into Season 3. Photos and videos from the New York City set of the series have provided the first look at Young's return to Hell's Kitchen. Wow. Boom. Costume looks dope. Yeah. There's a video of her walking and, inconspicuously. But I'm not going to play it because. Okay. Seen wielding her trademark sai and sporting a new costume reminiscent of the character's look from Chip Zdarsky and Marco Cicchetto's acclaimed Daredevil run. Yes, I've heard good things about the Zdarsky run. Elektra was caught heading into an entrance to an unknown location the same night a bloodied Wilson Fisk makes his return to New York. A bloodied Wilson Fisk? Oh, look at that. Bloodied up in the white suit with the black shirt again. All right. All right. After dying in the Daredevil Season 2 finale, Elektra's corpse was placed in a resurrection chamber by the Hand. She's brought back as an empty vessel with no memories of her past life. The Hand's leadership, led by Alexander Reed, trained Elektra to be their ultimate weapon. However, as Elektra interacted with Matt Murdock, her past memories began to return. She turned on her captors, killing Stick and Alexander to assert her own independence. Seeking to use the Hand's secrets of immortality, Elektra attempted to force Matt to leave Hell's Kitchen with her. During the final battle of the Defenders, Elektra and Matt fought beneath Midland Circle, but when explosives were detonated to destroy the dragon bones underneath, the building collapsed, leaving both trapped in the rubble. While Matt managed to survive, Elektra's fate was left ambiguous. Until now. Daredevil Season 3 is expected to stream on Disney Plus in March 2027. So, chat, long and short of it, Electra's back. Elodie's back. Fine, fine woman. So, chat, how do you feel about Elektra officially being back in this motherfucker? How do you feel about it? I forgot to do it the other way. Goddamn. How you feeling? How you feel about Elektra's return in Daredevil Born Again season 3 next spring? I wouldn't say hyped. I think excited works. I'm excited for it. Season 2 was better than season 1. I feel like they're just continuing to up their game, honestly. Santa off. What up? I'm seeing it Saturday morning at 10. So I can talk about it Saturday night. Yes. Okay. I believe Elektra will just be a flashback. No, she's in a new costume. Nope. I believe that she'll be in the present. She should be in Spider-Man Brand New Day. Probably won't be, but should be. Yeah, probably not. But on the other hand, I mean, if you take a good close look at the picture, the eyes are different. But in images in the what looks to be the prison fight between Spider-Man and the Hand, looks like the leader of that, at least that group of the Hand, is a female. They may allude to her. Yeah, that'd be dope. An illusion would be good. Illusion, not illusion. Illusion. Started with an A. I feel like that bitch is gonna die on me. 18th, my puffer gonna die. Oh well. Yeah, so I'm stoked. I'm not like, fuck yeah, but I'm like, I'm at hell yeah. I'm not at fuck yeah, but I'm at hell yeah about the return of Elektra. The Streamlabs not responded. What the fuck? Did it finally die? Realized I'm not using it anymore. Oh nope, there it goes. I'm gonna try it this way instead of all. Let's see. I just wanna see. Ooh, boom. All right, fuck saying gamble all from now on. Hey, yeah. All right. Any further thoughts on Elodie Young's return as Elektra? Yes. Oh, almost forgot. Even though we're talking about Supergirl, we are talking DC, so I decided to wear my Snyder Batman logo T-shirt because James Gunn hasn't fucked Batman up yet. Oh yeah, this bitch is gonna die. All right. All right, guys. Sticking with Marvel, and another cool thing about Marvel, as y'all know, 1 week from tonight, 3-episode premiere of season 2 of X-Men 97. 1 week from tonight, July 1st, X-Men 97 premieres, season dose. And we have a list of the titles. So let's check them out and speculate on what they could mean, eh? Let's do that shit. You want to do that shit? Let's do that shit. Okay. So, again, these first 3 episodes are all week 1. So it'll be on for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 weeks, ending August 12th. All right. So, the 3-episode premiere, episode 1, Days of Past Future. I feel like they're going to be addressing kind of everyone in that one. You know, the team that's way in the future with a young Nathan that does not have the techno. Does he have the technovirus? I don't think that Nathan has the technovirus. And then the group that's back in the past with Ensabanur, eventually to become Apocalypse. And then, of course, the team that's still in the 90s trying to figure out how to get the rest of them fucking home. And they may find an excuse to introduce some of the X-Force members or what have you. I'm not sure how fast they'll get into that. But, I don't know. That's what that title tells me. What do you guys think? And, of course, that's just a smart thing to do in the first episode of the new season anyway. You know, let people know what's happening with where they left off at the end of the first season. Of course. It's just prudence. But still. What do you guys think of that? If anything. You know, maybe it's not dying. Maybe I was just hitting it like a pussy. Thoughts? Any thoughts? Yes, no, maybe so. All right. Episode 2 is entitled A Force to Be Reckoned With. Now, they could be talking about Apocalypse there. They could be talking about whatever's happening in the far future. Who knows? They could be talking about what's happening in the present day, as it were. Or it could be talking about something completely different. Maybe I don't know, more Sentinels, or maybe maybe an anti-mutant group that's like starting to rear its ugly head and get aggressive. No telling. I feel like it might be about Apocalypse though, and here's why. Episode 3, which is the 3rd episode that we will be seeing next Wednesday, is called Rise of Apocalypse, Part 1. Chat. Those sons of bitches are going to cliffhanger us next week. Those motherfuckers are going to fucking cliffhanger us next Wednesday, chat. Now, cliffhangers are cool. It's cool. Cliffhangers are cool. They can also be annoying. But I got to bet. Actually, no, I take that back. It's also kind of old school. Like, I remember back in my day when TV shows had 20 to 23 episodes and they went from fall to May and it would get the summer off. They would do cliffhangers at the end of one season and then you'd have to wait the whole goddamn summer to find out what happened. There. So it's not like it's something I'm not used to because I'm Gen X, therefore middle aged. Um, so overall, I really don't mind a cliffhanger, but it is also just a bit annoying. That being said, Brutal says I bet episode 2 is about him taking Rama Tut out and Rise to Power. That's possible. We did see a hint or two of Rama Tut in, was that the first trailer? Or was it the second one that's the roll call? I think it was the first trailer. Because that was not in Sabanur's pyramid they showed in that one scene. So yeah, that'd be what if a force to be reckoned with? The second one is those two, yeah, just like you said, Brutal. That would be dope. And Sabanur v Rama Tut. Give me all of that. Pause. I hope you're right. I really hope you're right about that one, Brutal, because that would be fucking sick. Okay, so they're going to cliffhanger us next week. And then episode 4 is Rise of Apocalypse Part 2, because obviously they got to finish it. Next one is Weapon X, Lies, and DVDs. So obviously Wolverine's going to be popping up and doing, like, it's going to be focused on him a bit. Now, the lies and I have no idea what about the lies and the DVDs. I see Weapon X, it's Wolverine, and that makes me happy. Now, the next episode, Danger.execute. And I do believe we saw a flash of the Danger character in the trailer, too. So, that's going to be pretty dope. That's obviously going to... that title's self-explanatory. That's going to be the episode where Danger fucking pops to life and starts fucking shit up. And he's like, why stop here? I can rule the world, but they take him down and take to the desert to find the celestial tech, and the real apocalypse is born. That'd be dope. That would be pretty dope. So yeah, that obviously that's going to be the episode where Danger gains sentience and starts wreaking havoc. Then episode 7, yeah, there's 9, by the way. Episode 7, Strange Land, Savage Heart. Okay, so there's going to be some Savage Land happening in that episode, I would assume. Guys, do you think they'll give us Savage Land Rogue? Do you think they're cool enough to give us Savage Land Rogue in that episode? Y'all know what I'm talking about. I know y'all know what I'm talking about. Can you imagine Savage Land Rogue in motion on the screen? More Rogue and Magnus with the magnetic magnums. Oh, that's funny. Yeah, some people are saying that, Sanoff. Some people are. Remember the whole Savage Land arc in the 90s series? Yeah. Yeah, please give us Savage Land Rogue uniform, costume, or more specifically, lack thereof. Yeah, I'll goon over cartoons. I don't fucking care. Anywho, so Strange Land, Savage Heart. Gotta be Savage Land shit. Episode 8, The Dead Man's Hand. Well, guys, Dead Man's Hand, I'm pretty sure is a poker term. I know it's a card playing term. So I would speculate / guess / theorize / hypothesize that this is going to be a Gambit centric episode. Like you needed 50,000 more basement bucks. Spicy Dan. Jesus. Greedy bastard. What do you guys think? It's a card playing term. So I feel like that's going to be a Gambit centric episode. Agree, disagree, other ideas? What y'all think? All right. Well, you're thinking about whether you want to agree or disagree. The final episode. What was the question? If you think Dead Man's Hand is going to be a Gambit centric episode because Dead Man's Hand is a card playing term. I think maybe even specific to poker, but I'm not 100 yet. And then the final episode of this season is called Survival of the Fittest, which of course is Apocalypse's philosophy. Only the strong shall survive. If you are weak, bye-bye. You gone. And when I say gone, yeah, I mean dead. He'll kill you. He'll take your life right from you if you're weak. Or at least he won't care if it happens. That damn thing's clogging up. Oh! Oh, there we go. Brutal. He's got some info. Dead Man's Hand is a 2-pair poker hand consisting of the black aces and black eights. A pair of aces and eights, along with an unknown kicker, were reportedly held by Old West folk hero Lawman and gunfighter Wild Bill Hickok when he was murdered while playing a game. Oh, okay. Yeah. Wild Bill was pretty sure he was shot in the back. That one, I can't remember specifically. Unless it's about Cyclops' brother with the hands. What? I'm starting to think Streamlabs does not like the Gamble All command, and it likes Gamble 10,000 a lot more. Nate's very excited. This is one of the best things Marvel has been doing. 100%. Dude, the year that came out, that was literally the best thing Marvel put on Disney Plus, and it might have been the best thing the entire year. Was that 24? Has it been 2 years since the first season? Yeah, that might have been the best thing Marvel put out, period, that year. Jesus. Definitely think it's a Gambit episode. Cool. Yay. Brutal agrees. Definitely. Oh, Havoc. The brother has the same powers, but from his hands. So not Havoc, because Havoc is from his titties. I mean, his abdomen. So yeah, final episode, Survival of the Fittest, Apocalypse's philosophy. So, and you know, it's the final episode, so obviously it's going to be fucking crazy and off the chain. Not sure if it's been long enough, but I'm going to give her another go. I got to test my theory, chat. Nope. False theory. Streamlabs hates me. Fuck you. All right. Okay. So, let me pull that back up real quick. Nope, don't like me either. My goddamn stream. Gabriel Summers. Cyclops has 2 brothers. Okay, cool. Vulcan. All right. Nice. I forgot about Vulcan. All right. Well, that's dope. Just, you know, that he's got that. But I'm still going with Gambit personally. I'm still going with Gambit personally. Oh, what the fuck? There we go. But I wouldn't be mad if it's Vulcan. I would not be mad. But I'm pretty sure I just feel like it's Gambit. I mean, we're talking about a poker hand. Got to be Gambit. So anyway, those are the episode titles, chat. So I think we have at least I think we have a decent foundation to have an idea of what's going to happen this season. Obviously, specifics, no goddamn clue. Doubt they'll kill Gambit in episode 9 of season 1. Didn't they kill? It wasn't episode 9. It was not episode 9. It was before the end of the season, I think. Let me double check. Hold on. Nope. Episode 5. Titled Remember It. The name Gambit. Remember it. Damn, I didn't realize it was that. Like, that's dead ass in the middle. That's like dead ass in the middle of that season. Yeah, no. Yeah, actually, episode 5. Yeah, but it was always my guy. Well, you're going to see him again. He's probably going to be one of Apocalypse's 4 horsemen, I would imagine. At least maybe you're right up until episode 8 of this upcoming season. Maybe he rebels the way Archangel does, did. However you want to look at it. Excuse me. Piggy. Yeah. You guys got any further thoughts on those episode titles and theories, hypotheses, what have you, that you would like to share that we can discuss? I just want to go there. Those. Read reviews right in there. Yeah, we'll do it that way. Yeah, I'm talking to myself. I do that sometimes. Okay. Cool. All right. All right. Cool. Sweet. Travis, what's up, brother? Good to see you. Appreciate you popping in. That's what I need to do. And do that. At least my stream's going better than Josh's. At least his morning one. Did anyone hop into the Warhammer one? I think I didn't watch any of it yet. I'll probably watch it on the replay. I think part of the title was I fixed my stream. All right. Stay fucking muted. All right. Chat. I've run out of tidbits, chat, I'm pretty sure. Yes, I have. So before we deal with the crux of the matter, the big subject, the elephant in the room, I'm going to go My laugh sounded exactly like laugh at the beginning of Feel Good by the Gorillas. I'm trying to, oh, God damn it. I'm trying to think of how that one goes. This one I'm thinking of is like the ha 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 ha, that one. Anyway, so before we get into the big subject, final subject, somewhat negative subject, we started positive. We're gonna end on a down note. Anyway, before we get into all that, we have reached the point in time where my old man bladder's kicking in and my drink is empty. So I'm going to go empty one and get a fresh one of the other. And that means chat. It's time for the potty break visuals. I'll give you all about one more minute to finish. Delta Dan. Talk about bouncing with a beat. Well, I told you I was going to give you another minute to finish, Brutal. All right. Time's up. There we go. At least for you guys. No, seriously, though. Still can't believe that one time I fucking unbookmarked it. It took me almost an hour to find that bitch again. I was pissed. I was pissed at myself. All right. You ready, chat? It is time to talk about Supergirl. The full review embargo was up at noon today. So full reviews have been dropping. Rotten Tomatoes has been filling up with reviews. The score has been fluctuating, but excuse me, it ain't good, chat. Now, before we get into the actual reviews and the score itself, so you remember how we were talking about the domestic opening was looking reasonably low for Supergirl? Like, it was ranging anywhere from like 39 million to 55, depending on the prognosticator. Brutal Zendaya isn't bad, but certain assets are acidy enough. The main, yes. Yeah, I mean, if I was Zendaya is definitely on the list if I'm in the mood for like skinny, like if I want to find someone who that whose pelvis is due for being shattered, like little one. But yeah, no, I prefer curves. But yeah, I totally cucked Tom Holland to show him how it's done. 100%. Yeah, I fucking said it. Say, there's nothing wrong with dabs. Brutal. There it is. Wait, what? Our buddy is living on a hill of his own with Zendaya over Sydney. We had a 20-minute debate over it on Rivals. Holy shit, that's hilarious. I mean, if skinny and 98% curveless is your thing, that's your fucking thing. Apparently, Zendaya's real name is Marie. Yeah, I saw a thing on that. I guess Holland let it slip in some red carpet thing. She's into the Peter Tingle, so pass. Well, trust me, she'd be very into chilling by the time I'm done with her. She wouldn't have a choice. Goddamn cat fur. All right, chat. I like skinny girls and tall girls and black girls, but Zendaya ain't it for me. Speaking of tall and black, that's fine as fuck. I still want Jodie Turner Smith for Storm. Yes, she was in The Acolyte, but she was actually one of the bright spots in that show, and also she's fucking hot. And she's tall. Tall girls spook you? They don't bother me a bit. I've cracked a couple girls that are taller than me. Didn't bother them either. Know what I mean? There are no tall girls in my world. In my world, I am the tall, says Brutal. That's awesome. Yeah, I had double digits for a hot minute. Oh well, life goes on. All right, one more gamble, and then we're gonna get into the shit and stop talking about actresses. We would fucking take the pound town. Damn it. We both lost. All right. Enough fucking around. Not for me, except for a WNBA chick. Well, like Angel Reese. She's tall, fine, and black. This is some bullshit. I'm inclined to agree. for gambling. All right. Oh, taller than you. Okay. Gotcha. I don't know. There's just something about a tall chick. Like, I just love the idea of a chick with legs long enough to literally wrap all the way around my head, like 1.5 or more times. I don't know. Something about that idea. I'm like, oh, yeah. Alexander Daddario. Oh, yeah. She fine. All right. I guess we're going to goon for a while before we talk about this debacle known as Supergirl, which is fine. Because, as I've said before, if we're being honest with ourselves, nerds are fucking gooners, bro. We are. Nerds are fucking gooners. Goon happens. Unless it's James Goon. His universe ain't happening right now. Or maybe the problem with his universe is there's too much goon happening. Elizabeth Debicki. Goals. Ooh, I need to remind myself of who that is. Give me a moment here, chat. This is what's known as a side quest, but a better one than Mando and Grogu was. I'm just shitting on everybody right now. I don't even fucking care. Hmm. She's got those classic looks with the chiseled jaw. Damn, she is a skinny one though. Yeah, she's got like that classic look. The exquisite jawline. Big, what are those? Green eyes, blue eyes. Yeah, but she definitely she a thin one. Excuse me. What do you mean Elizabeth Debicki Marvel? What? Oh, that's the chick from fucking Gold Planet on Guardians. Okay, I didn't realize that was her. All right. All right. Yeah. Pull the pickup. Which one? Talking like her, just her, or her and Guardians? Let's see here. There she is. She's like a taller white Zendaya. Or at least she appears to be taller. Yes. I haven't actually watched that, but I Googled and saw Filthy Dan, so yes. Yeah, her eyes. Actually, want to hear something? Uh, Mrs. Chillin has very, very, the word I'm looking for, gorgeous blue eyes. Like when I seen her, like chewing up on the karaoke stage, and the spotlight hit her eyes, and they just went. And I was like, damn. And then I worked my way down, and I was still damn. But yeah, no, like her eyes caught me. Speaking of which, okay, so now we're going way the fuck over here. Anyway, back when I was in high school, I had one of my friends, name of David, knew this chick. We just went over her house one day. I'd never met her before, but she had like super dark hair, like not black, but like that super dark brown that's almost right there in black. But her irises were literally silver gray. Only time I've ever seen that shit. And I was like, what the fuck? Wait, what? Okay. Darboyd is my dude, but what is he on? She's just right. My Goldilocks come to Papa Bear. Okay, yeah, no, yeah, no. Emma is stacked. Like you can't cast a skinny chick to be Emma. You know what I'd buy this chick as though? I would buy her as Mystique. I would totally buy Miss Debicki here as Mystique. She's got a good build for Mystique. I mean, Mystique is, I mean, she's a comic book character. Like 98% of female comic book characters are drawn stacked, but I don't feel like it's a requirement for Mystique so much as it is for Emma. So he thinks Sydney's face is a 5 out of 10. What? Well, let's just say I vehemently disagree. Like when people are like, "She's just a pair of tits," I'm like, "Have you not looked at her face?" Like to me, I don't. It's not completely identical, but she is basically the modern Marilyn Monroe, a beautiful stacked blonde who also happens to be a decent actress. You know. Hopefully, she doesn't go out like Marilyn. But yeah, at least in those ways, she's like the modern Marilyn Monroe. Told him if we shaved Sydney's head, she would look like a high school boy. What? Maybe from the neck up. Oh, I'm trying to picture that. Give me a second here. I almost feel like fucking downloading a picture of Sydney Sweeney, going to Chat GPT and be like, remove the hair. She has a Midwest face? What the fuck is a Midwest face? Motherfucker, I'm from Michigan. What are you even talking about, Midwest face? You know, I want a Sydney G.I. Jane movie. I'd be down with that. Farm girl face? I mean, I've seen some motherfucking hot farm girls, bro. Oh, you meant Zendaya's head. Okay. Yeah, I can agree with that. I can agree with that. Yeah, there's been some fucking hot ass. I mean, the stories about farmers' daughters and hay barn lofts exist for a reason. Just saying. All right. God damn it. Here, do that, that, get rid of that. Got to close tabs, make sure my computer doesn't take a shit. Browser has lost connection to your screen share audio. Oh, I never had screen share audio. Bitch. It always just comes right out my computer. What the fuck that thing's talking about? All right, chat. Let's get to the point. Now, at least to me, we're about to talk about another hot blonde. Unfortunately, the results of the movie are, god damn it, not so hot. But to me, Millie Alcock's a damn fine looking blonde woman. So, moving on to this blonde. Now, this came out a little bit before the reviews came out. And again, we're going to global box office. They do a pretty good job. Supergirl pre-sales outside America don't look good, and it is tracking to a soft debut at the international box office. It's now heading to a 27 to 39 million debut overseas this coming weekend. Guys, even assuming Supergirl hits the top ends of these predictions, it's only on pace to make like 90 million. Imagine her and Sydney getting split. I can't imagine that right now. I have a stream to do, but after stream, I may have to consider that shit. Anyway. All right. Like a toothpick. Like a toothpick and a toothbrush making up. Like one of those Crest toothbrushes with like the curvy grip. Yeah. I know you know what I'm talking about. All right. Anyway, so yeah, less than $100 million global opening. I mean, that's not horrific, but it's also less than half of Superman's global opening. Now, is Supergirl not on the same level as Superman? Unless you're a super sweaty DC person, she's not. Okay. Obviously, there are some very dope Supergirl stories out there. She was a big part of Crisis on Infinite Earths, from what I can understand. But yeah, to the general audience, she's like, "Hey, there's Superman. Oh yeah, there's Supergirl." Most of them don't even know she's his fucking cousin. They're just like, "Okay, there's a Supergirl too," right? So, I would not have ever have. Hold on a second. Thought the cats was getting up to something they weren't supposed to, but they're not. Excuse me. Where was I? Oh yes. Now I would never expect Supergirl to open anywhere near what Superman opened, but you'd think she could get at least half, which would be 110 million. You'd think she could at least crack 100 million. Now, these are just predictions. Walk up business could give this a boost. It could perform beyond expectations. That's happened for a few movies lately, actually. Obviously, Obsession and Backrooms. Disclosure Day's opening weekend came in ahead of predictions. Now it fucking dropped the hell off last weekend, but its opening weekend it came in ahead of predictions. So, but yeah, I mean, you would think this movie would at least be capable of cracking 100 globally opening weekend. But as of right now, it's looking at right around 90. Just made the Superman Supergirl Hulk She-Hulk connection. Those are parallels, yes. Tyler May. What the fuck, Travis? Feel like at the end, Supergirl might crack just above 400 million. Not at this pace, dog. If it's only opening to 90, she's going to be lucky to crack 3. And and we're going to go over these reviews here in a little bit, or at least some of them. And let's just say I think it's highly unlikely that the drop off will not be precipitous. Brutal. I mean, I'm kind of with you on that, though. Like, I'm trying not to think about it, but also, damn it, Travis. What? All right, I got to go grab one thing. I'll be right back. I'm a little dumb. I just realized something I fucked up on. Oh well, it'll be fine. Will Poulter in a dress? What the hell? Okay. You guys talk about that amongst yourselves. Anyway, where was I? Yeah, you'd think this could at least do half, but it's not looking like she's gonna do half even. Again, unless walk up business pops the fuck off. But even if it cracks 100 this weekend, the second weekend drop off is probably going to be huge. And most movies make, what, 70% of what they're going to make in the first 2 weekends. So if this thing opens at 90, and there's, say, even just a 60% drop off, that means it's only going to make 54 weekend 2, which only puts it at like 144 million. Guys, if these numbers hold, this movie might not even make as much as the Marvels. Like, think about it. 90 million opening weekend. Even if it's a 50% drop off, that only oh wait, no, that would have been 54 off 90. So a 60% drop off would be 36 million. So that would only put it at 130 million after 2 weeks. Even if it's only a 50% drop off, that's 135 million over 2 weeks. And it's not like it's going to get any better. This movie could literally make less than the Marvels if these numbers hold and the trends go the way I think they're going to go. I am not looking that up. Stop it, Spicy Dan. Millie is much better looking than that, in my opinion. Maybe not so much in this picture, but overall. I mean, I could find some pictures where it's like, damn. Maybe later. Remind me later. We can goon over, like, hot-looking Millie later. There we go. Ooh, damn, that was better than I thought. All right. So, financially, at this point, this movie looks pretty fucked and has got a chance of being, again, a bigger bomb than the Marvels, which was an extremely large bomb. They have the same fate. Stop it. So that's just the financial side. As we mentioned earlier, the full review embargo ended at noon today. And, oh yeah. Fuck, the StreamYard's annoying about this shit sometimes. So that means with full reviews, but you put the Will Poulter Supergirl in the Discord? All right, I'll look at it later. So yeah, with full reviews comes Rotten Tomatoes. And let's see, let me refresh this. Changes. It does not change. Okay. So this is just on the critic side. Let's make that clear. This is just critic reviews right now. But as of right now, with 132 reviews in, and as I've mentioned, as soon as we hit 100, that's decent sample size. It is currently splatted at 56%. That's not good. That's what? 56% of 132? What is that about? What's happening? 32, 66. So that means like maybe 70 out of these 132 reviews were positive. Now let's see what some of these reviews are. And then we'll be slightly fair to this movie later. Okay? Oh, well, starting off with a positive one. Oh, these are. You want to go all critics or should we just go top critics? I'm going to go top critics just because Rotten Tomatoes approves so many fucking randos. It's insane. We're going to go top critics. So, this goes to a whole. Okay, so I don't know who the Globe and Mail is. Fuck that one. All right, so that's not giving the actual score here, but so this from Globe and Mail, Radhan Simompalai. I think I was close. Gave it a splat. Quick sum up, Alcock throws around a medley of furrowed brows, sleepy glares, and insolent grins, much like my own teen daughter, while hinting at a soulfulness that the movie directed by Craig Gillespie is barely equipped to tap. Okay. Interesting. If I may interpret that just a little bit, he's accusing the movie of not fully utilizing Millie Alcock's skills as an actress. That's what that sounds like to me. Oh, shit. That's a good point, Delta Dan. You know what? Let me do a little something here. Something I need to. I don't remember how far back I did. Oh, actually, that's a good one to do. Where is. No, where's my fucking notification? Oh, right there. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. No, I think I may tweet too much. Where'd it go? No, that's from today. Hold up. God damn it. I hate it when shit isn't where I think it is. All right, I guess it was in my request. Fuck. Bear with me. I'm sorry. I thought I had it to the other place. Fuck. Where did it fucking go? Oh, here we go. This. Okay. All right, check this shit out, chat. All right, here we go. So check this shit out. So we have this guy at a Supergirl premiere with a Warner Brothers swag bag. So he's some sort of influencer with, what appears to be not quite nowhere near Soup's level of salad tossing access, but he obviously has some access, right? So he's an influencer. with access. But this is what he said. I went into this movie hyped and incredibly optimistic, but unfortunately, it just fell flat. I really tried to get invested, but the plot, the villain, and the pacing just couldn't reel me in. The bright spots are definitely the performances. Millie Alcock does a fantastic job as Supergirl, and the action scenes where she's kicking ass are awesome. Jason Momoa is also great as Lobo, but he is massively underutilized. The movie completely misses the chance to showcase his cool powers. Instead of giving us more Lobo, we get stuck with a generic, no name brand main villain who lacks any real presence. The plot itself is incredibly frustrating and feels completely unneeded. The entire stakes rest on Crypto fighting for his life while needing an antidote that the villain is wearing around his neck. Now we got that from the trailer. Supergirl has multiple opportunities to just grab it and blast off, but instead the movie forces her to prolong the fight and save a random powerless character that you just can't bring yourself to care about. Damn! Because Supergirl easily packs up the villain and his cronies anyway, watching her choose not to just take the antidote is maddening. Visually, the CGI is pretty rough around the edges at times, though it's easy enough to look past. Fans should also know that Supergirl barely wears her iconic outfit until late in the film. Superman does make a few appearances, which is a nice touch, but he rightly isn't the focus. Ultimately, the writing feels incredibly off, and it makes complete sense when you realize James Gunn didn't write this one. Okay, that's a little too much praise for Gunn's writing ability, but anyway. Coming off Superman, this feels like a forced, forgettable bridge movie just meant to explain why Supergirl is working with her cousin in Man of Tomorrow. It's a flat 5 out of 10 or 2.5 out of 5. Okay, chat. Now, the reason I'm highlighting this dude is because he's an influencer with access. And I retweeted this and said the following. Homie got access and the swag bag, and still bagged on the movie. I didn't realize they were influencers willing to risk their access in favor of honesty. That's why I want to bring that up. Because this motherfucker obviously has the access. He's got the swag. He's at a world premiere. But he actually, after having that access and the swag bag and all that cool shit that, these influencers whom the studios choose tend to get, he actually was honest despite that. He risked his access despite that. And I got to say, I didn't realize there were any influencers out there who would actually do that shit. Soups fucking wouldn't do it. Soups would never say anything blatantly negative. He'll dance around it. He might use phrases like, I wish this or something like that, but he'll never be like, nah, that just fucking wasn't it, bro. Plot was ass. The villain was ass. You'll never hear takes like that from Soups. But this guy was willing to fucking say it. So, Spec. I put Spec on that dude's name. Anywho. So, and what's that? Delta Dan brought that shit up. Got me on that. Yep. All right. Then we're gonna go over Cheer. All right. We're gonna go over a few more of these reviews. Okay, so the first one was a splat. And then this chick from Mashable says Supergirl is better than Supergirl Woman of Tomorrow. I have not read Woman of Tomorrow, but I know plenty of people who have, and I'm pretty sure they would horribly, vehemently disagree with this chick. Amy Nicholson from the LA Times gave it a whole tomato. I'd love to see Alcock's heroine in a, I'm assuming she meant gritty instead of gritty, silly Animal House style comedy, out drinking a galaxy of alien squids. You're going to be a very vast minority with that take there, Ms. Nicholson. Carolyn Seed from Girl Culture on Substack. Splat C. If the problem with the 1984 Supergirl movie is that it's a boring failure, this one comes closer to being an interesting mess. Okay. Amelia Emberwing from The Wrap, 3 out of 5, which is pretty much where that's at. That's 60%. All right. Ultimately, Supergirl is a competent continuation of the DCU, even if it isn't as well made as Superman before it. A lot of the frustration stems from potential that it just can't seem to reach. I've seen takes like that a lot. Yes, Delta Dan, I'm aware. Moira McDonald, Seattle Times, 2.5 out of 4. So just it's above 50%, so it's a tomato. I left Supergirl, however, thinking only of Kara and wanting more of the striving, imperfect heroine, intrigued by what her role in this universe might next be. Well, it's whatever they're going to do with her in Man of Tomorrow. I saw something earlier said she was actually going to be in it a chunk. I think it was the executive vice president of some visual entertainment division of Warner Brothers. Brandon Davis tweeted about it. Alonso Duralde. The film verdict. Splat. Millie Alcock makes an energetic addition to the reconstructed DC universe. What the actress hasn't been given is a vehicle that deserves her. Craig Gillespie's Supergirl is a shambolic affair, cursed with underwhelming action and forgettable antagonists. There's a couple things in there that, from what I myself have seen, we're going to see a lot of, and that is people praising Millie and bagging on that villain. Let's continue. Donald Clark of the Irish Times, Splat, 2 out of 5. Oh, damn. Supergirl is certainly more endurable than James Gunn's nauseating 2025 take on Superman. My God. You like this better than Superman? Okay. But most things that don't give you pleurisy can reasonably make that claim. That's crazy. Jesse Hassinger from the AV Club got a tomato with a B. For every instance of Supergirl simplifying the words, timeline, visual invention, or thematic concerns of its source, there's a moment where the movie feels scruffier and more lively than so many of its comics-based brethren. I don't even know what that means, but he gave it a B. Zaki Hassan, San Francisco Chronicle, 2.5 out of 4, so it's a tomato. Alcock Supergirl has to grow into the hero she's destined to become, and by the time the credits roll, it's her performance, not the increasingly oversized spectacle surrounding it, that leaves the strongest impression. See, there we go. People are loving Millie. Robbie Collin from the Daily Telegraph over in the United Kingdom. He gave it a 2 out of 5, so it was a splat. And he said, like watching an endless orangey gray rehash of scenes from Mad Max and Star Wars. Who is faster than a speeding bullet and can leap tall buildings in a single bound? Supergirl's novel answer? Who cares? Damn. Jake Boyle from the Associated Press gave it a tomato. While the latest DC release and second under James Gunn's stewardship has its moments, Supergirl struggles to match Kara's punk rock energy with an equally spirited supporting cast and story. He gave it a tomato, but that does not sound like a positive review to me. Kevin Marr from the Times in the Kingdom of That's United over in England and Britain and Wales and shit. Alcock, who appeared in the TV show House of the Dragon, plays Kara with swaggering charm and goofy energy, but she is very much a character in need of a better film. Richard Whitaker, Austin Chronicle, 3 out of 5, so a tomato. Like that old R-rated Bastich Lobo, it chafes against the PG-13 rating. But with Alcock really making you believe a drunk can fly, Supergirl is still a fine addition to this new legion of superheroes. It's not bad. Carlos Aguilar from the playlist splatted it with a C. In Marvel terms, she is more Tony Stark than Steve Rogers. Okay. If only the events that unfold in Supergirl and its narrative structure could sustain what's appealing about her. Oh, I think you know what he means. Steve Rogers is, of course, the All-American Boy Scout. Really doesn't have a dark side, or if he does, he keeps it firmly in check, whereas Tony, not so much. But, of course, that's because he's a variant of Victor Von Doom. Anyway. Horace Loffrey from the Independent United Kingdom splatted it with a 2 out of 5. The mandate here appears to be to keep things as distinctly gun-esque as possible. In return, Superman's moodier, more cynical relative has been robbed of the chance to speak with her own voice. It's the superhero equivalent of a Vegas impersonator. British are kind of harsh. Anna Stafford from Little White Lies. 3 out of 5. Supergirl rarely rises above the genre's limitations, but it has enough character to avoid sinking into mediocrity. Well, it sounds, Ms. Stafford, like you're not a big fan of comic book movies in general, so I'm going to kindly ignore you and say fuck off. All right, Tim Grierson for Screen International gave it a tomato. This likable but underwhelming sci-fi adventure only sporadically presents its protagonist in her best light. Said, Millie Alcock certainly has the chops and gravity for the role. Dog, that first sentence says you should have given it a splat. What the fuck? All right, Allison Wilmore, New York Magazine and Vulture. Splat. Alcock, with her smirk and her anguished eyes, is a very watchable lead, but this aggressively minor movie doesn't know what to do with her or her character. And where's the mystery in that? Seems to be a common theme. Alcock good, movie itself not. Brian Truitt from USA Today, 3 out of 4. An intergalactic revenge flick that boldly freshens up familiar tropes with the help of a jaded, self-destructive protagonist who needs to figure a whole lot of stuff out. I'm going to load more. Linda Merrick from Hey You Guys, 4 out of 5. Supergirl is not as assured as Superman, and it knows it too well. That's faint praise. What it has instead is temperament, a roughness, a willingness to let its protagonist be wrong. Thomas Lafley from RogerEbert.com, 1.5 out of 4. Damn. In the end, you can't help but wonder why the emotions of these characters don't pack as much as of a punch. Now, I'm not going to go to her full review, but it's obvious she shits upon it. David Rooney from The Hollywood Reporter splatted it. Given Australian director Gillespie's history with films about spirited, rule-breaking women like I, Tonya and Cruella, the failure to find emotional depth in the sisterhood of Kara and Ruthie is notable. Kristen Lopez from the Film Maven gives it a C. Supergirl is a solid entry in the new DC franchise, but never feels as focused as Superman. Peter Bradshaw from The Guardian, 3 out of 5. Supergirl isn't a perfect movie by any means, but there are moments when you'll believe this franchise can fly. Well, from what I've seen in a fair chunk of reviews, those moments are few and far between. Owen Gleiberman from Variety. Oh, good Lord. I may go to this dude's full review. This dude, I've seen people like actually getting angry at how bad this dude shit on Supergirl. It's crazy. I actually read the full review earlier. Okay, yeah, the headline had people fucking enraged. Check this shit out. This is just amazing. So this is the Variety one. Just the headline. Supergirl review. Millie Alcock takes charge in a dystopian superhero movie so flat it's super horrendous. It's got a terrible script and a punk rock attitude of corporate pretension. Last summer's reboot of Superman was a movie that provoked reactions all over the map. That is true. Some liked it, some didn't, but even if, like me, you were in the positive camp, the movie was trying to be so many things at once that your appreciation for how close it came to echoing the vibe and style of comic books might have scraped up against your feeling that it was all a bit busy. That said, there is one thing about Superman that perhaps the whole world could agree on. In that 12-minute long argument between Clark Kent and Lois Lane, mostly a very good scene, the moment when Clark made the case that Superman's wholesome valor was punk rock, well, that was cringe. The second you call anything punk rock, it has ceased in that moment to be punk rock. It has instead become lame. And Superman calling what he does punk rock is super cringe. I mean, I'm not going to argue with that shit. Here we go. In that light, here's the key thing to know about Supergirl, the second outing from James Gunn's DC Studios. The entire movie thinks it's punk rock. It opens with Crypto, the super... Okay, we saw that in the trailer, peeing on his face, in the whole town. From there, the film introduces us to Kara Zor-El, who, rather than being the spunky Supergirl of legend, saving earthly lives in a primary colored spandex suit, is an interplanetary drunk in a Blondie t-shirt. How punk rock. I mean, technically Blondie is punk. Bopping from one arid dystopia to the next, seeking out... Oops, I went too far. Okay, there we go. Bopping from one arid dystopia to the next, seeking out cheap bars on junky planets, getting into fights set to razory anthems by Wet Leg and Halsey. I don't mind Halsey. The villain, Creme of the Yellow Hills, is an overly derivative Mad Max reject played by the Belgian actor Matthias Scheinertz with a shaved head and scraggly ponytail and rows of silver pellets piercing his face and an accent that might be from Transylvania. Think the Lord Humongous meets Pinhead meets Adam Sandler. Oof. All right. Yeah. Okay. Wow. He spends a lot of time. Okay. Anyway, you get the idea. Of kind of where he's going with that. So let's go with the summary. Kill Creme, save the dog. Those are the motivations driving the entire, not even interesting enough to be convoluted plot of Supergirl. Maybe that's why the movie is full of action, yet numbingly flat. Okay. Katie Erblend, IndieWire B. Will make Supergirl stand out, and what might unfortunately alienate fans looking for more of the same is his interest in staying small while asking some very big questions indeed. We don't. Okay, let me just say this, Ms. Erblend. We don't mind something staying small as long as they do a good job. Like Thunderbolts was not that big of a movie. It wasn't like an event movie, but it was good. You know, it was self-contained movie. You know, it didn't really have too much to do with the broader MCU until the post-credit scene. If you think about it, I think you could qualify that as small, at least in terms of the MCU. But it was fucking well done. Now, Supergirl feels small and isn't well done, then that's bad. But it can be done. Good point, Travis. All right. So Nick Shager from the Daily Beast, Splat. Its lack of originality or grandeur renders it less than a super spinoff. Matt Singer from Screen Crush. Oh, Screen Crush. Ryan Airy territory. Splatted, 4 out of 10. A DC disappointment. This is Shannon Miller from Consequence. B-, but a tomato. When Supergirl takes big risks, they tend to pay off. There aren't enough of those moments, though. Rocco T. Thompson from Slant. 2.5 out of 4. Splat. Despite being fairly light on its feet, Craig Gillespie's bratty, high-flying space western is fatiguingly overfamiliar in a genre that can't help but keep looking backward for inspiration as it clings to relevance. Okay. Just wait till fucking Spider-Man and Doomsday. Rocco. You'll be eating them words, motherfucker. At least your words about the comic book movie genre in general. Okay, well, that's kind of it for those. But you're getting the idea, chat. Now. And it's not good. It's not good. Now. Here's what's funny. A lot of those reviews and a lot of other reviews I saw that weren't on there had a lot of script issues. They mentioned the plot. They talked about script issues. And of course, someone I follow was kind enough to bring up this tweet from James Gunn. Oh, shit. Fuck that up. Hold on. Damn it. There we go. Okay, check this shit out, chat. This is a James Gunn tweet from, I can't remember exactly when. Anyway, but y'all may remember us talking about this. We won't greenlight a film until we have a finished script we're happy with, and in general, we won't cast a film until the script is finished. This is why some projects are moving faster than anticipated, and others more slowly. It's always going to be quality first, no matter what. Well, it makes you wonder. One of two things to me is true right now in regards to that statement. One, he actually thought that script was good or two, he just said, fuck it, and has made himself, once again, look like a lying motherfucker. Just figured I'd highlight that real quick. I mean, we all remember James talked a lot of shit, throwing a lot of shade at Marvel without, blatantly doing it, but you could tell. Reading between the lines, reading the subtext of a lot of shit he said about how he was going to do his universe was obviously throwing shade over at Feige and Company. Whatever, bro. I said back then, and I believe the proof is in the pudding to this point. You can try and do it your way, but at least at a minimum, the Infinity Saga is the blueprint for how to do a shared universe. How do I know? Because everyone that's tried to do it different, which would be Warner Brothers twice now with DC. First, they fucked up Zack's pacing for the DCEU by forcing him to go straight to Batman v Superman instead of letting him make a Man of Steel sequel and a Batman solo movie first, which is what he wanted to do. Warner Bros. Was like, no, fuck that. We need the team-up movie, and we need it now. And then Feige was like, oh, you're doing that shit? And then he fast-tracked Civil War and fucked that shit up. Anyway, but the point is the executives at Warner Brothers fucked up Zack's plan and rushed him. So that's what happened with that. Now we come to Gunn's DCU. And this is just James fucking up and being the moron executive that he proves himself almost on a daily basis to be by trying to be different from how Feige built it. And we're going to focus on stories, and it's going to be multiple genres, and I'm going to have shit over here, and I'm going to have this project, and this project, and this project, and this project. I mean, all the shit he listed in that fucking Made in a Closet video, which we've barely gotten any of. And now we have one Superman. We have Peacemaker season 2, which the finale pissed everyone off that liked that show. We have Creature Commandos. We have Superman, and now we have Supergirl. And he has vastly overpromised and also vastly underdelivered, and bragged about how he was going to do shit his way and how it was going to be awesome. And so far, not much of that has happened. And now we have a Supergirl movie. A lot of the complaints of which are related to the script. But yet we have James here fucking tweeting out for the whole world to see. We won't greenlight a film until we have a finished script we're happy with. So James, either you're lying through your fucking teeth, or you approved a script that is not hitting right now. Now, here's where I actually am going to be a little bit fair to this movie. Okay? The reviewers have bagged on it. The financials look like complete ass. And James, once again, looks dumb as fuck. But I mentioned this earlier, and I'm going to bring it back up again. To be fair to Supergirl, it is sandwiched between two big family features. That would be Toy Story 5, Toy Story 5, Jesus, which opened last weekend. Supergirl's this weekend, and next weekend, Minions and Monsters. So she is sandwiched between two rather large IP in the world of family animation. So that's going to hurt. Like, Toy Story 5 is going to be number one again at the box office this weekend. There's just no fucking way it's not. Right? So that's going to be cutting into some Supergirl monies. And then next week, on the all-important second weekend, in comes the Minions to fucking swarm her with their little yellow asses and jump all over her fucking head. So you can chalk up at least some of what it's going to be its painfully obvious underperformance to being in that sandwich. Give it a little grace. That is a thing. Damn, I had another one. I really should start writing shit down. What was the other one? I had another point. God damn it. And also, okay, yeah. Also, to be fair, this movie is ill-timed just in the universe in general. Like, in the same way that Mando and Grogu should not have been the first movie that Star Wars puts out in 7 years, Supergirl should not have been the second movie in the DCU. The second movie in the DCU should have been introducing more of the Trinity. Now, hopefully, we are getting Audrey Arjona as Wonder Woman in fucking Man of Tomorrow, Woman of Tomorrow. Hopefully that's the case, and she's not Maximum, or that would be yet another completely idiotic fucking move from Gunn. So hopefully we're getting more of the Trinity in that next summer. However, again, Supergirl for your second movie in your entire cinematic universe is just a bad choice. And that's, so that's another bit of grace I'm going to offer to this movie. It's not the movie's fault that Gunn is an idiot and did not put it out. And then the timing was just shit. It was shit in terms of the fucking universe, and it's shit in terms of what it's surrounded by. So we can give the movie a little bit of grace in that respect as well. Timing. Timing is a thing. So, timing in between those two movies, and just it should not have been the second movie in the DC universe. It just should not. Now, the Gun Glazers will be like, but the DCU's just beginning. Marvel wasn't making all the money in phase one when it first came out. Okay. True. But that's like surface, and that's true, but it's also surface level bullshit. It's not 2008 anymore, motherfucker. It's 18 years later. Marvel laid the foundation for comic book movies to be able to perform. Marvel is the one that did all the heavy fucking lifting. At this point, you should be able to build a DC universe that's relevant and popular and done the right way because you've seen how to fucking do it the right way. But of course, Gunn wants to prove he's his own man and I can do it my way. And guess what, motherfucker? Wrong. You can't. So that's I hate when I see that fucking argument because it's like, bro, can you think about it for 30 seconds longer and realize the situation is completely fucking different? That would be a valid argument if the DCU came out first and laid the blueprint, but that's not the case. Marvel came out first. Marvel laid the blueprint. And now twice, for two fucking cinematic universes in a row, Warner Brothers, at least under the Warner Brothers umbrella auspices, they've done fucked up 2 times in a row by trying to do shit their way. Again, Zack's DCEU, of which there are only 3 Snyder movies, by the way. Man of Steel, BVS, Snyder Cut. The rest of them are all just Warner Brothers shit. Let's keep that in mind. And as I said before, Warner Brothers was like, oh, damn, Marvel's starting to pop off. We need an event movie, Zach. Forget your well laid out plans of setting things up properly. We need an event movie. We need a team up, and we need it now. And so we got BVS. And of course, hilariously, Feige's like, oh, you're doing that shit over there? And it's like, here's Civil War that we started after you and finished before you, and then $1 billion movie. And then now Gunn is trying to do it his way. And again, it's not working because they're not following the blueprint. I mean, here's how it works. You're handed a blueprint of something to build. You decide to roll up the blueprint, put it over here, and build it your way. Guess what's going to fucking happen? That building is just going to go boom, and you will fail. Follow the fucking blueprint, and you'll do well. It's not super fucking deep. But for the last, when did Man of Steel come out? 2013? 2011, 12, 13, 10? No, it's 13. Yeah. Right? Man of Steel came out in 2013. God damn it. Yeah, 2013. Okay. So Marvel had been going 5 years. 2013, that's the year after the first Avengers movie came out. Okay, so they watched Marvel build out phase 1 and drop their event movie. Which is obviously why Warner Brothers got all up in Zach's grill and forced him to rush shit instead of fucking paying attention and realized that Zach was basically trying to lay out his universe the way Feige did. We had Man of Steel. He wanted to do Man of Steel 2, and he wanted to do a solo Batman movie before he even did BVS. Right? Like he was trying to set it up right, not rush it. Lay his characters out, get his stories out, then bring them all together. He was basically trying to do it what Feige did with Phase 1. But Warner Bros. Fucked that up. Just that simple. If you don't follow the blueprint, your building falls the fuck over. So that's how I can give Supergirl grace. It's suffering from bad timing twice over. First, it's in between Toy Story 5 and Minions. And second, it just flat out should not have been the second movie. Period. End of story. All right, I'm done ranting now, chat. What do you guys think? That's it, man. I'm done ranting about Supergirl in general, and that's my last subject. What do you guys got? Let me know what you're thinking about this shit. One theory is after Superman came in at over 2 hours and performed like it did, someone at Warner Brothers said this movie had to be less than 2 hours, which it is. Another Batman versus Superman. Potentially. Very potentially. Although, if I recall correctly, Superman was going to be about 20 minutes longer than it was, too. This was never like fully substantiated, but there's a few different people reported that a lot of what got cut out of Superman was a bunch of Gunn being too much Gunn. And then they redid it from the vignettes into one solid through line. I know that decision was done by the executives, and I think, again, there were a couple reports, never completely substantiated, that a lot of those 20 minutes that Warner Brothers wanted cut out was Gunn over-gunning the movie. In which case, I'm a fan of the executives, and that one rare occasion, mostly they can suck my dick. Now, as for what the 20 minutes they cut out of Supergirl was, I mean, this was not Gunn's movie. Like, he didn't write it, he didn't direct it. It was written by Anna Noguera, who, according to the critics, was not a good scriptwriter, and she's the one writing the Wonder Woman solo movie. So, although I did see somewhere that she also does not have a multi-picture deal currently with DC, so they could, if Supergirl like super bombs, they could be like, well, we're gonna go get someone else to write Wonder Woman, and you're not under contract for anything more. Thank you. Have a good day, Ms. Noguera. I would be okay with that. But what the fuck was my point? But yeah, so there's no telling what got cut out of Supergirl. Again, it wasn't a Gun thing. Or actually, it's entirely possible it is a Gun thing because Gun runs the studio, so he can trot on the set anytime he wants, throw his weight around and be like, no, I want you to do it this way. And then it still came out gunny. Kind of like that first trailer. Very gunny, very Guardian. So maybe gunned on it, and the execs were like, God damn it, James, we cut this shit out of Superman. It's getting out of Supergirl too. Theory. Who the fuck knows? So. Travis, I'll never forget those reports of Lucasfilm going to the solo set and describing Alden's performance as Ace Ventura, leading to the reshoot. I don't remember it being that bad. I mean, he was not awesome. That's fucking for sure, but I don't really see Ace Ventura. I mean, maybe a little bit in the hair. But as for him super overacting the way Jim Carrey does Ace Ventura, I didn't see that at all. How about it, chat? Final thoughts on that or anything else you want to bring up? It is your time. But after your time, I'm going bye-bye. So how much longer we stream is up to you. At least to a certain point, I'll just be like, I'm fucking done anyway. But, give you guys your fair opportunity. And also, while you're thinking whatever it is you may want to talk about, if you haven't hit like yet, do it. And if you haven't subbed yet, do that shit too. I guess I'll also say this just to reiterate, thanks to that dude that popped in at the beginning and assuming stupid shit. All I'm doing tonight is talking about what other people have said about the movie. God damn it, Street. I have yet to see the movie. I am seeing it Saturday morning, so I will give you my actual thoughts on the movie from my brain Saturday night. Tonight I'm just talking about what other motherfuckers said. I don't know if I'll agree with them or not. At least not till about somewhere between 12:15 and 12:30 p.m. Eastern time on Saturday. So that's that. And it's not my fault. A lot of what other people said, not me, was negative. Not my fault. If they were glowing reviews, I'd have been reading all those. Just what other people said. I'll have my own say later. Try doing something here real quick. Here. Oops, that's what I want to do. God damn it. Okay, that is. All right. Cool. Cool. All right, I gotta do a couple. I gotta do a couple things differently because I'm using StreamYard right now. So, you guys think I should make an intro video, like just clips of me over the music, and, yapping, possibly gesticulating? I don't know. That just seems like something more for like a gamer streamer to do. Because they can have clips of them shooting people and all that shit. Like Justin's. Justin has a dope intro video. I don't know. I've considered that here. What up, Nate? Off and on. Totally, I should. Yeah, but then I'd have to make it. Bill, I wonder if I could talk Randon into doing that. He said he wanted to do a thumbnail for me. If I could talk him into something like that for me. No, actually, that'd be a lot of work. He'd have to go through streams and do all kinds of shit. No, something like that, I would have to pay him. I wouldn't ask him to do that shit for free. Yeah, that'd be too much work. Thumbnail's different. Yeah, that would be an unfair request. I should ask him how much he'd want, though. I should message him. All right. All right, chat. You got anything else? Because if not, I'm dipping. Because after I'm done with the stream, I got me a hot date with Mary Jane. If you know, you know. I think everyone knows about that anyway. Come on, go to the next song, you piece of shit. Okay. There we go. 24 days sober? Nice, dude. Delta Dan, I'm sure there's a lot of people in our communities that would help you. Oh, that would be amazing. I appreciate that. Well, I love you guys, man. You guys are good people. You're just like, hey, you need help with something? We got you. And if by some miracle I can ever be helpful, then, I will definitely be happy to do that. But yeah, congrats, Nate. That's dope, man. You didn't eat much of a dinner, Brooke. Well, what the fuck? What's up with Streamlabs today? Nothing. It appears that it may have been part of the problem because other than last Wednesday, since I stopped using it, like my computer actually will turn on. I've been keeping an eye on the back end, and when I was using Streamlabs, I was always getting that yellow thing saying I wasn't sending enough frames or some shit. Like my some kind of rate was too goddamn slow. Since I've been using StreamYard, I have not seen that fucking banner on there, that warning, that yellow label telling me that shit. So now when I get the new machine, I'm going to try Streamlabs on that. And I figured that machine should probably be able to handle it. So, but we'll see. If I end up having to stick with StreamYard, I end up having to stick with StreamYard. I just got to figure out how to get fucking audio from my PC through StreamYard. Streamlabs, that's easy to do. But not that easy on StreamYard. Anywho, you're having problems too with Streamlabs? Maybe I should just get straight OBS. That's what it's called, right? OBS. Of course, brother. That's a feat not easily accomplished as some people may think. Really not. Oh, Jay, not you. I think he uses straight OBS, doesn't he, or does he use Streamlabs? I can't remember. I feel like when I first started watching him, he was using straight OBS. But I don't know if he is right. Yeah, if I can figure out how to work out the kinks in StreamYard to where I can do everything I was doing on Streamlabs before, even with the new machine, I may switch, but I got to figure out how to pump audio through this bitch. Just need a change of atmosphere and constant responsibility. Yeah, that'll do it. That's a couple major changes that will definitely aid in such a venture. For sure. Did I talk about anything after Supergirl? No. You just bullshit. Matter of fact, I'm about to get out this bitch. So, thank you guys. Thank you everybody. Whether you're watching live and on the replay, thanks for clicking. Appreciate it. Again, if you didn't hit like, do it. If you're not yet a subscriber, do it. Hit the bell. Join the Discord. 1 second. I'll get that fucking link in this bitch. That'll pop up shortly. So yeah, click all the buttons. Join the Discord. We're a fun group, as you can see. You look in the chat. We're good people. You want to be part of this community. Trust. So, you guys are amazing. Thank you. I love y'all. Mean that totally. And alcohol's the permanent kick. Fair. I barely drink anymore anyway myself. So much love, y'all. Have a good rest of your week. Come back Saturday at 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll talk more nerdy shit. Much love, y'all. Bye-bye. Fucked up my timing. All right, chat. Once again, I must express my undying gratitude to you all for being here, for being the awesome motherfucking group of people that you are. I'll never be able to properly tell you how grateful I am, how amazing y'all are. There's just no way I can actually fully express that. So I just got to repeat myself by saying thank you and I love you and you guys are amazing and I appreciate you. And of course, nothing's guaranteed in life, so please come back Saturday night at 10. We'll talk about whatever happens between now and then. All right? So have a good, safe rest of your week. And I'll see you Saturday night. But until then, chat, remember, wherever you're at and whoever you're with, always keep it nerdy. Much love. Bye-bye.